Okay, sorry about that. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. So sorry about that snafu. But we're back now. Now I have to wait for everybody to come and find me again. I'm so sorry. That was crazy, wasn't it? I haven't made that mistake in a long time. The wrong direction mistake. So, I hope everyone is fine and dandy this morning. I don't turn this light on until we're kind of live because it's kind of hot. It's an hot light, and I don't know why it's so hot, but it is. So if anybody has a suggestion of a better light that I can have on my desk that doesn't put off heat, because this hot light does put off heat, and you know, I live in Arizona. Good gravy. We don't need anything that adds heat. That's for sure. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Carol. How are you both? So good, I hope. Other people are here, but I don't see their names just yet. Oh well. I'm sure they'll pop up at some point. So if you are brand new here, if you would follow and like Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs. Good morning, Alana. If you would follow and like Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And then if you would ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. I'm going to be, hi Ann Price, hi Barb Meyer. I'm going to be starting pretty darn quick. I'm going to be adding some exclusive content to just our private Facebook group. I will still do everything that I'm currently doing on our Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs page, but I'm going to be adding some exclusive content to the private Facebook group so that we have, you know, something just for us. And you'll want to join because it's the kindest, most encouraging, lovely group of friends you'll ever meet. Good morning, Nance. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So I have so much to blab about today. So let's talk about classes first. So the first class I want to talk to you about is Let's Get Artsy with Our Bible, and that is this Saturday at 9 o'clock Arizona time. It's held in a private Facebook group. So you're going to register for it on my website, AnnCorbiereScottDesigns.com, and you're going to look under featured classes. And then you're going to see Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles July 2021. And that's the class. That's this month's Bible journaling class. And you'll, for the low fee of $20, you will get my exclusive hand-drawn artwork. And then you'll also get lots of tips and tricks and painterly techniques. And so this month, I'm going to be sharing a cool color mixing on your substrate technique, and how to get this kind of a glow effect on your art printable. Then in class, I always do one technique previous to class for the sample, and then in class, during class, I will use that same artwork but in a different way. I always provide at least 2 verses to choose from, or you can do your own thing. You can do whatever you want. So that's this Saturday. Registration is still open. And remember, you can either watch it live or if you're not able to attend on Saturday, don't worry about it because we will be, it's available in the replay. And utilize those groups, you know. If you join one of my classes, that's held in a private Facebook group. Then you have access to me and all of your fellow classmates. And then we can also just converse and explore things a little bit more. You can share your creations and ask questions, and all of those things elicit conversation. And then that's how our community just continues to grow and grow and grow. And I just leave those groups open, so if anyone wants to join at a future date, or if they want to engage again months later, you're absolutely more than welcome. The next class I want to talk about is whimsical lettering with Anne. So when you sign up for it on Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com under featured classes, it will be whimsical lettering with Anne, July 2021. I try very hard to remember to date each class because each class is different. It's an ongoing lettering class. All of my classes are ongoing, but you get fresh content each month. So we play with my hand-drawn whimsical lettering font that I've drawn just for this class. And then we always add a second hand-drawn font. And this month is Blocky Botanicals. So we're going to be doing all kinds of fun, different applications of this font. We're going to play with mixing and matching them, all kinds of fun things. We have some prompts every month that we hand letter, and then we post in our private Facebook group, so be sure to check that out. Remember, that's on my website too. And then the last class that I'm going to talk about today is Inspire Your Heart with Art 3. So I do these 3-month long art journaling series, and they're they are $15 for all 3 months. So that's $5 a class. So if you've ever wanted to explore the concept of art journaling, or if you just love art journaling, this is the class for you. Like I said, it's $15, and each month we explore a new art genre that's kind of going on. So this month we are going to be doing paper painting, and so you have a little bit of homework to do. And so this is part of the homework. I did a mini class on Sunday. I also put the mini class into this private Facebook group, so you have that for reference all the time. This class is this Sunday, July 25th. Both of these classes, the Bible journaling and the whimsical lettering, are Saturday, July 24th. So anyway, without further ado, let's talk about my brand new product that I am introducing today, which I swear I cannot wait to share with you. So the brand new, and I've been cooking up this and curating it and thinking about it for months, kind of working out all the details. So this is called Card Candy. I think I might have mentioned it in a pop-in paint party before, but this is, I just love, and I've talked about this before too, I love to build an artsy cluster. So I like to, and I like things a little bit funky and a little bit, I like to meld the worlds of my hand-drawn art with vintagey vibes. And so that's what I've created with this. So this is my first one, but I have lots more in the works and coming down the pike. And my idea was I wanted to create card candy that would coordinate with my art printables. So today I have 2 things debuting. I have Card Candy 1. I know that is not a interesting name, but you know what? I couldn't think of anything clever, and so I just thought, well, let's just be a clear identifier. Card Candy 1. Card Candy 2 and 3 and 4 are all coming down the pike. So today we are debuting Aunt Marge, and that is this art printable, a coverall where I've created these fun and funky poinsettias for Christmas in July, and then the Card Candy 1 that coordinates with this. So you can use bits and bobs of this with this. You can use this alone. You can use this with some other art printables that I have in my arsenal on the website. I tried to make them all so they're coordinating. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that they, hey Donna, so that they work in conjunction with each other, and that you could use, and that was kind of the idea. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a while, and so like during the road trip card challenge where we used more than one art printable together, we combined them to create one amazing card. That's I'm kind of growing that idea here. And so all of the typing looks old and funky because I typed it on a vintage typewriter. This is from a, I shouldn't give all my secrets away, but what the heck. This is from a, you know, the Dymo label makers from back in the day, but this one is from, I believe it's from France or the UK. So it's just a little bit different. The font is a little bit different. I just, you know, I just love all of that funkiness. And you'll notice that, you know, I love text behind my drawings. I like to draw on top of text. I like to make them work with, you know, my art. This text is all in French from a vintage French book. So all kinds of fun funkiness abounds this morning. So I'm going to set these aside and share with you a couple of cards that I've created with the card candy, and then we'll come back and start painting, because I've already had my little bit of painting warm up this morning, but we'll paint some more because, you know, you can never have too much of that. Okay, so it's the first card that I created. So these are both with just the art from this sheet. I'm going to create another card after I paint these. So here's the first one. I told you I haven't adhered anything because I wanted to talk about how I put it together. So I took the faux washi, the little poinsettia, the sketchy heart, and the 25 ticket. Like, if you'll notice, I really try to think about all of these little details. It says 12.25 for the call number on the ticket, and it says 25 cents for the December 25th. So I painted these with, remember when we were doing watercolor, well, that was in my last Inspire Your Heart with Art jelly plate printing. We did some watercolor on our jelly plate print, or jelly plate. And so while I was doing that, I played with these watercolor brush markers from Alta New that I had bought months and months and months ago, and, you know, didn't start playing with them until a couple weeks ago. And now I've kind of fallen in love with them. So for this piece, I used, like I said, the faux washi, that's all in French. I have this embossed piece of cardstock that I embossed with one of those, I think it's something linen, organic linen from Altenew. I embossed it, and then I took a stitched rectangle and I embossed that on top of that. I just like lots of texture, especially when I'm doing things that are where I'm building a cluster. I just like lots of visual interest, but not distracting. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to adhere that to my card base. And then, because this is so stiff, let's put one more strip down the center. I hope you'll notice that I also have my underpaper as my work base this morning. Remember that we'll use that in Inspire Your Heart with Art. So you just want to have that with you at as many times as you can, because you just want to build color and texture and color and texture and color and texture, because that's going to, there we go. That's going to just enhance the coolness when we go to make more art on top of that. So what I was kind of feeling like, I really wanted to build some layers of texture, and so I feel like I want to tuck a bit of that ticket underneath the faux washi. And so you know, I'm all about tickets, so look for more of those in your future. I just feel like it's a cool way to get there we go. It's a cool way to get some a vintagey vibe, and to get whatever your theme that you're kind of playing with. It's a cool way to incorporate it one more way. So I'm being careful to put the blank end of the ticket facing down so that there we go, so that the 12.25 is still visible, and the 25 from the 25 cents on the ticket. So now I really feel like I want to adhere this faux washi flat, because regular washi would be flat. And so there we go. Oh, I really wanted to talk about how I hope that all of you are using your, I feel like, what do you think about pulling it way over to this edge? I just feel like that always just adds like a little bit more funkiness if we just kind of offset everything a little bit. But I really wanted to talk this morning about how using your color wheel, you know I sound like I'm a broken record, but a color wheel will add so much to your art. And it's an easy thing to introduce. It's super, super easy. You can go as in depth with color theory as you'd like, or you can just do the minimum, and the minimum is going to absolutely enhance your artwork. So Christmas colors are red and green, and they work so well together because, look, they are opposites on the color wheel, right? So just really think about that. Really think about the fact that sometimes color theory is well thought out in advertising and in like football team uniforms. I've said that before. The reason that it's pleasing to the eye is because those colors harmonious with each other. So just kind of be aware. And I think once you have a color wheel, then you tend to be, color becomes way more like, oh, those colors work together because they're friends on the color wheel. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever want to like hound people with color theory or anything, but just know that little bits of color theory will make a big difference in your art. Okay, so that's enough of that. So now I have a couple more components. I have the sketchy heart, which I did yellow because I wanted to make these pop, the yellow center of the poinsettia. So I'm feeling like I want to put that right about here. I want it almost touching the 25. And this, I feel like I could do flat also. So let's get some score tape on there. Let's adhere that right about there. And I like when things overlap and thanks, Donna. I'm not really a hound, but I really do really would love to spread the good word about a color wheel. And it's $5. It's $5 and it will make such a difference in your just in your creating, in anything, in your home, in your art journal, in your everything, in your clothing. You'll just start to really like, oh, that kind of, I see the difference now. Whatever. Anyway, so now I have the little poinsettia, and this is the one I want to pop. So, let's see. I have my big wheel of pop dots or foam tape. But I also have this overflowing Ziploc bag of all manner of, look at this, it's insane. It's insane. Of all manner of foam dots. And so let's put a big one right in the center there and right in the center there. And then I feel like I would really like the, I really want those petals to have some stability, and so I'm putting some of these little ones, and this is even crazier. Okay, can you talk about the other side? The other side of what, Lita? Tell me what you're, oh, the other side of the color wheel. There you go. So the other, is that what you're talking about? The other side of the color wheel, the cool, gotcha. The cool thing about the other side of the color wheel is that it shows you values and look at me, I can't talk and peel little tapes off of, that's crazy. It shows you values and hues, and it goes into a little more depth with well, it talks about tints, tones, and shades. And tints, tones, and shades are, yes, it is like a mixing guide. So, whoops, I can't read upside down. I'm multi-talented, but I can't do that. So, tints, tones, and shades are, tints are adding white to the pure color. Tone is adding gray to the pure color. Shade is adding black to the pure color. But there's so many other ways that you can play with those theories. You can add a little bit of the opposite on the color wheel color to a color and tone it down. You can, there's just so many, so many things you can do. This is the simplest way, but if you add a color that you are, if you're painting something red and green, right, like a poinsettia, and you want to have a deeper red that really works well with what you're painting because you've already used this green and this red, if you add just a smidge of this green to that red, you're going to get a perfect deeper shade. But always caution on the err on the side of caution by adding just like little teeny tiny bits. Does that help? Okay, so now I'm going to add my poinsettia. I kind of like it like that, and then I feel like I could add some of my doodads from High Supply, our friends at High Supply, who I adore. So look at this thing. I will find out the details about it. Tessa brought these back from her trip home to Colorado, and they are, wait till you see. I think I just want black dots, maybe. Let's see. I'll just do black sequins so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so say I want to put some of these black sequin-y saucers on this card. So I'm going to take one of these little triangular trays. I'm going to pour some of my pieces in here. Whoops. I forgot I have to just pull it off. There we go. And remember, this is that quick stick. And remember, this is sticky. So we're going to take our Connect glue and we're just going to add a dab there, a dab there, a dab here. And let's see how that looks. And then we can add more as we go along. So now we're going to pick our sequin or saucer up. I'm going to set that there. There. Maybe I'll do this one. A little teeny one. Look at that! I love it. Okay, so here's the coolest thing. So now, this little tray, look at, you can pour all of your bits and bobs, your little doodads, right back into the packaging. Brilliant, right? I will find out exactly who made these and where she got them, and I will keep you in the know. So there's one card, and I didn't even put a sentiment on there because I don't exactly know what I want to do. But I think it's already very Christmassy. You could certainly put a sentiment up here so you have a nice visual triangle going on, but I kind of dig it just the way it is. So now I'm going to do another one. Okay, so for this one, I did another embossed panel, and now I don't remember whose this is. I can tell you later, but right now, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to adhere this to the card base. And I did the same thing with this one where I, once I embossed the panel, then I ran it back through with another die that was a stitched rectangle to just give it that nice finished feel. I really like that. Maybe it's because my mom's a quilter. I like that. Like enclosing it into one thing, you know? I don't know. Who knows? It could have nothing to do with anything. Okay, so let's adhere this. And then I took the big poinsettia, which, can I tell you how much I love text behind? I love to draw on top of text. Absolutely, you can absolutely emboss using your stencils. That's the thing, isn't it? You can do so many things. Like, pull those tools out and just experiment, experiment, experiment. That's how you, like, you have these amazing discoveries, you know? Okay, so this, I feel like, because this is already embossed, I feel like I want to adhere this flat to the embossed panel. And then maybe, so I'm going to do a big strip right there. But because this has all of these individual petals that I fussy cut, I really want to make sure that they lay nice and flat. And so I'm going to continue to score tape all of them so that we have a nice, it's stuck down, you know? There we go. There we go. Oh, this is the craziest part, isn't it? Trying to, hey Maureen! Just peeling off all of the little bits. But the payoff will be good because it's nice, strong adhesive. Oh, thanks so much, Donna. I am so glad. Okay, so, I'm going to stick this down onto the embossed panel. And now I'm taking that label maker and I am going to pop this. I think that will be super cute. So I'm going to do a series of these little ones. And the thing about these are a thin pop dot square. What are they? I don't know. They're by scrapbook adhesives. I don't know. But anyway, they're thin. And I think that because this is a thin pop, I might not have to pay extra postage. I think that I might be able to get away with it just in a plain envelope with one stamp. So we'll see. I'll test it out. I'll send it to somebody after I photograph it, and then we'll know. You never know, though, you know? You never know. And those saucers are pretty flat, so I'm feeling like that might be the thing, too. And just this, by juxtaposing this big, bold sentiment on top of the poinsettia, I feel like that automatically is eye-catching, right? Because it brings your eye down here, but then it's part of this too. So all of those things, those all help your composition. So when I fussy cut, I never cut right on the line. I always leave that little bit of edge because I like the artsy feel of when I overshoot the edge, and it's just kind of like little bits of I don't know if you can see that, little bits of paint going over the edge. I'm just not a super precise person when it comes to art. I like to just have it loose and ethereal. But I feel like this one, let's do the same thing. I think I'm gonna do little bits of these doodads on here. I like them when they're right on the line like that. I always feel like that's a really, I like it to be just a little bit unusual. Do you know what I mean? Now let's do a big one. I always get more than one. Yep, loving that. And then make sure we cap this and take our little triangle and we can pour right back into our packaging. Love that. I'm going to set this one aside to dry too. So now let's play with Aunt Marge. So like always, I name these art printables after special people in my life, and so my Aunt Marge is very special to me. She is another one of my father's aunts. She is my grandma Chickie's youngest sister, and she is just as delightful as can be. And she is, oh, thanks, Debbie. Thanks. So now I'm going to play with this coverall. I like the versatility of a coverall. Can you tell that, like, I like things that I can use in many different ways, and I think that's what I was thinking when I created this. That's what I was thinking when I created the whole my whole art printable idea. Was I wanted something that was made just for card makers, and that they could make multiple cards in with minimal supplies. And for me, I want them to be like fun and funky artsy cards, right? So just know that so we have Aunt Marge and we have Card Candy 1 that coordinate, and then next Monday there's going to be a third in this grouping that will coordinate, and so you can make so many Christmas cards with those 3 printables. And remember that once you buy my printable, you can print them so many ways. You can print them on different substrates. You can print them on vellum. You can print them on sticker paper. You can print them on watercolor paper. You can print them, I mean, remember, you need to use a specific kind of watercolor paper, but just know that you can use them in so many ways. Hey, Kath, I sent you I posted a a reply to your signing up for my class post, so be sure to check that out. And if you need any further help, you just let me know. Okay, so let's take the full sheet and let's paint. So I have my trusty little, thanks Kath, aka Annalisa, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna take a paintbrush this time. So you know I like to use everything. So I'm gonna take, but I want to play with these. The thing about a coverall is that you could cut this in four pieces, right? And do 4 different techniques. You could paint the whole thing in one technique and then cut it up however you wanted. You could cut it. Last week I did, if you turn it this way, you can get 3 slim lines. You can do a 5x7 card. You can do you see what I mean? I just, I like things to be versatile. Like, I just like things to be versatile. Something that I can do a million different creative applications with. So, that being said, everybody take a drink. I want to, oh, something I was going to talk about this morning is, so, you know, the watercolor paper that I recommend, the Canson 90-pound, to have it fit through your printer, you need to trim it down to 8.5 by 11 because it comes in 9 by 12 sheets. So, because of that, you'll end up with these little strips that you could just throw away if you wanted, but you could also use them as test strips for colors. That's what I like to do. So in this set of, and I don't remember what the name of this set of watercolor, brush markers is, but this color is ruby red. These are the 2 colors. I'll show you the 3 colors I used on the other set of, on my card candy, were these 3 colors. And just like my Karen markers, I use them like watercolors. So I apply a little bit of color and then I pull it out with either a wet brush or a wet water brush. Okay, so those are the 3 colors I used. But then I would look at this color. So this color is called Lagoon. Look at how pretty that is. Wait. And then look how pretty this is. There's my little squeezy parts. Silver. Look at how pretty those are together. And then I have Persian blue. Let's look at that. Look at that purple. That's a pretty combo too, isn't it? The purple and the silver. Right? This is Mountain Mist. That's pretty. Let's see what that looks like with, let's see what it looks like here. I just like to test out color combos before I start all the way. And then I have black and brown, which I'm probably not going to use right now. But, oh, and rouge. Look at this one. I mean, I don't get paid by Altenew. I just, you know, I just like to show you what I like to play with. So I'm going to start coloring this full sheet, and then I can, hey Deborah, hey Nance, hey Maureen. So I'm going to, this is what I like to do. I like to just add a little bit of color, and then I like to dip my brush in water, tap it off, and then I like to come over and just pull that color out. Your paints are gonna, your watercolor brushes are gonna last so much longer because you're kind of diluting the paint. You know, I like to I just like to do washy layers of color. Whoops, let's move that. So I'm going to do the same thing. Pull that color out on all of the petals. And just do that jiggy-jaggy blend. So by applying the color right at the base of the petal, we already have started a nice gradation of color, right? The tips of the petals are certainly lighter than the base, and that's a cool thing, right? So we've already started with a nice gradation with just our base color. Oh, that's watery. Okay, I'm gonna brush off some of that excess paint onto my paper towel. And then I'm just gonna pull that color out to the edge. And then I'm gonna work it right back up to those little berry-like bits and pieces that are in the very center of the flower. Make sure that when you're painting, you don't obstruct your space, you know? If there are things that are within your, because we're turning our page so much, make sure that you leave yourself enough room to have your hand be comfortable as you're applying color. It makes such a difference. So there we go. Pull, pull, pull. And remember, because this is water base, we can just let that dry, and then we can come back and soften those edges with our jiggy-jaggy blendy technique. So let's rinse our brush, tap it off. Now let's come back in here with the emerald, and this is quite intense, this color green. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on there, and then I'm gonna pull that color out. And you'll notice that in the time-lapse video that I did this morning, that I put out this morning, I dabbed off. Like if it feels like there's just way too much color on there, just take your paper towel and dab it off. And so then you'll have a base of color, but it won't be so intense, right? And if you have too much pigment on your brush, just wipe it off on your paper towel and then come back, right? So I'm gonna show you. So like this feels too much, right? So I can take some of this color and move it over here, because remember, we know that this is darker right here. We know this is darker right here, right? Or we can take our paper toweling and we can just tap it off. And that's gonna pull the intensity away, and then we can continue to blend that out. Okay, so now that this is almost dry, we can take our damp brush. So we're gonna rinse it in our water, and then tap it off on our paper towel, and then come back in with our damp brush and then just do that jiggy blend where we're just flippity flap, right? And that's going to move that color ever so slightly. Although I kind of like when it has that, those little blooms of color, because then it really looks watercolored. And I just love that watercolor vibe, you know? So let's come back in with a little bit more of that base color. And let's do a little more concentrated areas. Damp brush. And remember, this is where we might come in with ever so little bit of color on the edge, and then back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Pull that color off. Soften that edge. I'll do the same thing here. Just barely there. And then back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Do you see how that's already starting to give our petals form? That's already creating form and dimension with just color. I love that. I love that. Rinse, tap off, so we just have a damp brush, and then back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Right? Same thing here. So on Thursday, let's paint some more. We're going to play with these again, but I want to make some cards from this printable, so you can again see the versatility of my products. They are really well thought out, I promise. I want something that you can use in multiple ways and that are pretty timeless, that you don't need, that you can use this year's art printable for Christmas cards or last year's art printable for cards. You can combine them. You can, that's kind of my goal, is for them to work well together. If you are brand new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you followed and liked me and Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott. One of the questions there is I will ask you for your email address, and that's so that I can put you on our newsletter distribution list. I send out a picture book kind of newsletter each Friday. It has way more pictures than text, but I will tell you that you really want to join. Make sure that you've joined, you've subscribed to my newsletter, because I have some new incentives that are coming out just for people who are on my newsletter distribution list and are in my private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott. So just so you know, there's some cool stuff coming down the pike. Everybody take a drink. We gotta stay hydrated, for crying out loud. So let's see, let's cap this red. And now I'm gonna take the Citrus Burst and I'm gonna do the center. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. So these can be fussy cut if you'd like. These can be, and if I were going to fussy cut, I would just do the basic shape of the flower and the pine bough and the leaves and sprigs, right? Oh, Debbie, I'm so glad you came. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the coolest group in town. Probably in all the land, actually. You'll love it here. You'll love it here. So like I was saying, just I would fussy cut just the edging of everything, and then instead of trying to fussy cut all the way around. So remember my flowers that I did for Ornamentally Yours, the spring Ornamentally Yours? I just did a bit of an outline of each of these sprigs. So that's how I'm feeling like I want to, if I were going to fussy cut these, that's what I would do. But I really want to do some different color combinations. So I'm going to flip, and I'm kind of digging that Prussian blue, you know? Ooh, there you go, Keels. Who knows what you could create, right? So I'm gonna do this Prussian blue is just this gorgeous periwinkly purple color. So I'm gonna get a little more water so I can pull that color all the way around and just pull out that watery wash of that purple all the way to the edge of the petals. Look how pretty that is. I just love just playing with with new color combinations. I mean, that's the beauty of a art printable, right? You can do it you can print it 100 different times. You can print it on all kinds of different substrates. So, and I'm feeling like I really want to, when I look back on this, on my tester strip, I really like this purple and silver together. Don't you think that's kind of cool? But then to bring in a third color for some of the greenery, maybe I would do this lighter green. I'm feeling like those three are really nice combos. And you know what? This is a little bit deceiving because this green is this green. But do you see how deep it is? But with just playing with water, you can absolutely change the vibe. So just remember that any art material that you're playing with, you can absolutely learn it, learn its capabilities, learn its how it works on different substrates, how it works on all kinds of bases. Do you know what I mean? Watercolor paper or newsprint or cardstock or copy paper. You can use whatever you have at your, like I said, you don't have to use the finest tools in all the land. You can create amazing, beautiful things with Crayola markers or Crayola watercolors or Crayola colored pencils. Everything can be beautiful. You can create amazing artwork. I mean, there are people who create amazing artwork with a ballpoint pen. So just know that it's just all about practice and play, and remember that we just take time each morning for that peaceful practice, and I'm telling you, You can draw back on that peaceful time when maybe you have to talk to the insurance company about something later on today. Just go back to that Zen feeling that you were feeling when you were painting poinsettias in the morning. Do you know what I'm saying? Just really, it's a beautiful way to start your day with this, a calm, meditative vibe. Do you know what I mean? This purple is so beautiful. I can't even, and seriously, would you think this was this? You wouldn't, would you? But that's the, I'm telling you, test strips. And you know what? I had to print a lot this morning, so look, I have a whole bunch of them. So I just have them sitting in a tall glass on my desk so that I have them if I want to test combos, if I want to, you know, that kind of thing. Hey, Marianne, Deborah, Denise, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I just noticed that our hour is up. I hope that everybody really enjoys the card candy and Aunt Marge as much as I have this morning. I hope that you make, I would love to see like every combination of you know, friendships of all of these pieces. And then remember, next Monday there's one more in this series. So go out and have a tremendous Tuesday. I hope that everybody is inspired to create a card, create a Christmas card or two today, and broaden your artistic horizons by signing up for one of my classes, all on Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. Thank you all so very much for taking time out of your busy lives to just get artsy with me a little bit in the mornings. And I will see you Thursday. No, I will see you tomorrow, because remember, we're doing an extra pop-in paint party tomorrow morning. I adore you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.